Hello and welcome to SEC Baseball Friday Night Reaction presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Chris Lee, joined by Graham Doty. We have got all kinds of games to bring you as we're doing this. Everything that is going to be in the books tonight is in the books. We are waiting on Alabama and North Florida to finish. That's in the 8th. Alabama looks comfortably ahead, 7-2. We'll touch on that one when it's over. Had a couple of doubleheaders and had some games rained out today. Anyway, we'll get into all that. Speaking of FanDuel, going to give you some odds because they've been doing some daily baseball odds for some games this year. Looking for lines that we got set for Saturday. Not seeing anything on the SEC yet. But anyway, we'll get you those as we get them. But let's talk about our friends, Graham at Home Field Apparel. They make terrific stuff. I've got a shipment of this stuff on the way. Can't wait to get it. And know you're a big fan of Home Field Apparel yourself.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Based out of Indianapolis, Indiana, they got over 150 different colleges, universities over the country. So we got March Madness coming up, SEC plays coming up for baseball. So what does that mean? That means you need to go to Home Field Apparel and load up on your favorite team's gear. T-shirts, jackets, hats, you name it, they got you covered. Just vintage. It looks great. It feels great. Very breathable when you wear it. So homefieldapparel.com is the website. I highly recommend you check them out.
Yeah, looking for lines on SEC games tomorrow. Don't see anything. We do have, if you're interested, Georgia State plus 1,100 tomorrow to beat Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern minus 4,500. That's a little odd we don't have SEC games on there, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of those. Anyway, let's talk about the games. I think we start in Auburn tonight, where we circled that as probably our marquee series of the weekend. And boy, Auburn's pitching continues to get it done. Just a domination tonight of who did they play? Winthrop. I was about to say High Point, and we were getting to High Point in a minute. They had a big role in another series. But yeah, Winthrop was 10-2 coming in, and the Auburn, Jake Marciano just does what he's done every Friday night out so far. Auburn looking really good. The pitching has been there all year. Now the bat's starting to come around a little bit, Graham.
Yeah, they really are. Look, on paper, this isn't really a sexy weekend for anybody in the league, like matchup-wise, but Winthrop was playing good baseball now. They won 8 games in a row coming into this one, and then Auburn really, really controlled it from the get-go. You touched on Marciano. He was lights out, 6 Ks, didn't give up a run, but offensively, Chris, tonight, 11 hits, 2 doubles, 3 homers. Bub Terrell, big night for him. He goes 3 for 3. You just see kind of the mainstays in this Auburn lineup made play. So all those like freshmen and underclassmen, sophomores that they got, just seemed like everybody did their job tonight. So Auburn stays hot, and they beat a very good Winthrop team. Also, yeah. Winthrop, if you didn't know, they got the largest batter's eye of any ballpark in the country. It's
really?
I've done a handful of games there, and it's like you can see that thing from space. It's so big.
Yeah, Auburn has got looks like game 2 is scheduled for 6 Saturday for now. There's a lot of I guess doubt about the weather. A lot of places right now is a good way to say it. That's been the talk everywhere. Is like a lot of games, hey, don't count on this first pitch that you're seeing because that may change.
Yeah. Not just in the state of Alabama. I mean, that's everywhere. I feel like the whole conference is going to get impacted by Mother Nature this weekend. Like I sat next to Ole Miss athletics director Keith Carter at the SEC women's basketball tournament tonight. I was asking him, like, all 3 games are going to get in this weekend, and he was like, "Your guess is as good as mine." So it's just going to be one of those weekends, all the way around. Even Oklahoma, like. Apparently, the weather is really bad tonight in Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma and Santa Clara played last night. Oklahoma won that one 2-1. We'll talk about that maybe in a minute if we get a chance. But, yeah, that one today got rained out. South Carolina, Princeton play a doubleheader allegedly tomorrow because that one got rained out. And I'm missing Missouri and UIC. That was, I think, 12-5. Illinois, Chicago in the 5th. And that one got postponed for rain. So anyway, by the way, the winners off the top tonight: Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss twice, Tennessee, Texas A&M twice, and Vanderbilt are your winners. Your only loser so far is Florida. And then Alabama again to be determined, but it looks like the Crimson Tide are well on the way to getting another win. Been playing very well of late, has Coach Rob Vaughn's team. All right, let's talk. We circled big series for LSU and Vanderbilt. Just thought those were teams that haven't had it go their way lately, and both of them kind of needed big wins tonight, or not big wins, but just wins just to get momentum going in the right direction. And tonight, LSU, things were going great for Case and Evans. I want to say he had a no-hitter into the middle innings, and just as it's been the case for Case and Evans all year, it's just been one inning. Sometimes it's been really bad luck. Mm-hmm. Tonight, he gives up 2 earned runs, 3 hits, strikes out 8, no free passes. So he gives up, 3 runners, and 2 of them score in 5 2/3 innings. The Sacramento State strung some stuff together. But, hey, the offense tonight was just tremendous. 3 home runs from Jake Brown. Derek Carriel goes 3 for 5, hits a home run. Stephen Milam 2 for 3 with the home run. Both those guys knocked in 3 runs. And LSU beat Sacramento State 15-4 in 7.
I think if you're an LSU fan, you got to be excited by the offense, right? It feels like offense hasn't been what they wanted it to be. It feels like it's been a minute since they scored more than 5 runs pretty consistently. But tonight, the 15 runs on the 14 hits, safe bet to say the leader in the clubhouse for SEC Player of the Week, Jake Brown, with the 4 hits, the 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. What a night for him. And again, like that guy doesn't get talked about enough.
No.
He just kind of does his business, goes under the radar. He's just been so solid and steady really throughout the course of his career at LSU. But I'm happy for him. He's kind of exploded, especially offensively, his last year in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, they had so much depth a year ago that Jake Brown didn't play like every day. I think he played more often than not. But he was a guy that was getting like second-round grades, I guess, coming into the year. And I think Jake Brown is a guy that certainly lived up to that kind of hype. And I don't know what the latest mock drafts are showing, but Jake Brown could maybe be working himself into the first round the way he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, when you hit 3 home runs in a game, yeah, you're going to grab people's attention for sure. So I think if he continues to play at this level, like he's definitely going to make some money at the next level. 6 home runs tonight, by the way, for LSU. Like,
yeah,
will be a sight for sore eyes.
The team we're about to talk next one up them. But anyway, before we get to that, Wes, one of our regulars, welcome to him. Welcome to Trace, Benson in the box. Got a few Auburn fans in here, some Aggies in here, a lot of familiar faces and some new ones. But we welcome all you guys. And again, we're going to talk about everybody tonight, at least everybody who played. So we've gotten to a couple of teams so far, and we'll hit everybody by the end. And we'll also, don't let me forget, Graham, got a couple of Thursday night games I want to just get to at some point too. So I said LSU got one-upped. That was by Vanderbilt. I was at that one. Vanderbilt hit 7 home runs in a 7-inning, 14-2 win over North Dakota State. 7 home runs by 7 different men. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in a baseball game before.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? Doesn't North Dakota State, don't they still only have 1 win?
Yeah, they played the Florida tour of like solid mid-majors. So they haven't, had some of the layup opportunities. So I think, weren't they a regional club a year ago?
Yeah, they made the tournament.
Yeah.
No, anybody that didn't graduate, a lot of those guys are now playing in the
Other
SEC.
places.
Yeah. But to me, like, this is exactly what Vanderbilt needed, right? They needed a get-right weekend. They had a hairy midweek. They split in the midweek, and then you start tonight against North Dakota State, and it just wasn't in any doubt. Like, you scored 2 in the first, and North Dakota State never really got close after that. So 7 home runs is ridiculous. Remember, Vandy got off to that hot start. They were leading the country in home runs at one point through like the first 10 to 14 days of the season, and then they kind of cooled off a little bit. So maybe this is the weekend where they just start to gain their confidence back.
Yeah, it kind of looked like batting practice out there, as it did for a few teams tonight. I was watching at one point, man, balls were flying out of yards. I come home and I've got the TV on the quad box, and I think at one point I was watching Texas and LSU, and I think Auburn was on the bottom TV, so I had 5 at once. And I think there were about 3 home runs in about maybe a 60-second span in different games. So it just felt like it was that kind of night with the warm weather, where the ball was just really, really getting out. Yeah. So
somebody in the chat's asking who Vandy has next weekend.
That's LSU here, and I'll be there. I'll be for people not familiar with Nashville. Vanderbilt is probably 2 to 3 miles from the downtown arena where they're playing the tournaments. I will be kind of back and forth between those two, which will be fun
for you.
Yeah. I mean, choices will be had to made. I mean, it's I want to see that thing. That's a I'm on press row. You've never really seen SEC basketball. Do you see it like up close right there?
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing how quick and athletic and physical those guys are. But also don't want to miss LSU and Vandy in my backyard. So probably is going to depend on who's playing. But anyway, looking forward to that one next week. Let's see. Let's hit the 2-win teams. I think you had eyes a little bit on Ole Miss. Tell me about what the Rebels did tonight.
Yeah, so doubleheader because of the weather that we alluded to. So game 1, Ole Miss victorious 7-2. Hunter Elliott, not the sharpest tonight, but just good enough to get the job done. He picked up the win. 5 innings. He walked 4, 7 strikeouts, 90 pitches, 51 strikes. So I've talked about this in the past. Like, his superpower, Chris, is like when guys get on base, it doesn't really phase him in a negative way. Like, he's able to always seems to navigate his way out of that. And like this is just what he does. Like, wasn't his best tonight, but still picks up the win. Now, the story in game 1, pitching wise, was Calhoun. How often over the years have you seen a 4-inning save? That's what he did tonight.
Yeah.
4-inning save, 1 hit, no runs. He had 9 strikeouts, so he was phenomenal. Offensively, Ole Miss had 15 hits in game 1. Judd Utermark hit a home run. He hit 2 home runs in the doubleheader. So record watch, Judd Utermark, I think he's 9 home runs away now from having the most in Ole Miss history. So certainly on the table for him. In game 2 in the doubleheader, this one wasn't close at all. Ole Miss won 14-2. Cade Townsend continues to pitch at a high level. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, didn't give up a run. He's just so efficient, Chris. 67 pitches, 46 strikes. So Ole Miss got the home run ball going in game 2. 14 total hits, 4 home runs. How about Dom Decker, another home run? So
that's like 4 home runs in a week and a half or so?
Yeah, I think it's 5 now, but he didn't have any in his career at Murray State, and now he's doing some damage with a long ball at Ole Miss. Big news, though, for Ole Miss, Daniel Pasella, the big Illinois State transfer. So this is somebody that Ole Miss was, the game plan was, all right, this is somebody everyday outfielder, 44 home runs at Illinois State. So tonight, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. If he can get going, that's just another weapon for Ole Miss to have. So that was big for him, at least to get some confidence moving forward.
I mean, that's been a very complete team. I know they've had issues hitting with runners in scoring position at times lately. The defense is still their biggest concern, but their pitching has been really good. Strikeouts are up there. They've been decent at limiting the free bases. I mean, I think I'm, probably a half notch higher on Ole Miss than I was coming into the season after seeing their pitching do things the way they've done.
Yeah, and to me, their pitching isn't really going to be an issue. Now, Will Libbard scheduled to go for Game 3, but again, the weather is going to be terrible this weekend, so I don't think they're planning to go tomorrow. So if they try to get one in, maybe Sunday, but it's anybody's guess with Mother Nature this weekend.
Let's go to our other 2-game winner today. That is Texas A&M. The Aggies, again, just have been very, very good pitching and hitting wise lately. In the opener, which was early this afternoon, Oakland had 7 runners and 3 of those scored. As Shane Citadel was great again, 7 innings, all 3 runs charged to him, struck out 9, and in what is becoming the hallmark of the staff, A&M just doesn't put guys on base for free passes. Citadel had 1, and Juan Vargas had an inning and a 2/3 relief appearance where he didn't give him any runs. Caden Sorrell hit another home run, knocked in 3, and in the nightcap, A&M beats Oakland 10-2. Weston Moss rebounds from a tough start last week. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, a free pass, and Grahovac and Boston Kellner, their shortstop, both hit home runs. The Aggies still sitting on, I think, 1 loss and are looking for a noon game tomorrow to wrap that thing up with Oakland.
Yeah. So Game 1, I watched the first 3 innings of this today, Texas A&M and Oakland. Now, Oakland jumped on them, Chris. They scored the first 3 runs. It could have been way worse. They had the bases loaded, but A&M was able to kind of get out of trouble there. You alluded to it, the 7 runners on base, and only 3 ended up scoring. The wind was a major factor today. It was like 20-25 miles an hour, like blowing out. So it definitely had an impact on this game. But to me, like, these 2 teams could play each other 100 times, and like A&M is going to win at least 90 of them. They're just way more talented than Oakland. So the positive for the Aggies, they're probably the most beat up of anybody right now in the league, and they're still just finding ways to win. So guys are getting at bats, getting experience, and then once Hakopian gets back, that will just be like a huge shot in the arm boost for A&M.
Yeah, are they missing anyone besides Hakopian right now?
It's just not like long extended, but it just feels like they haven't had everybody in back-to-back games available. Somebody will miss a game here or there, but Hakopian has only been the one that's been extended. And I saw Coach Early said he's day-to-day.
Yeah, they went without he and Sorrell for about 2/3 of the weekend last weekend. So, yeah, I'm hoping they get healthier because, again, that was kind of the thing that derailed their season last year. All right, let's get to the only unbeaten left. That's Texas, which just is – I feel like Texas just cruising against anybody and everybody right now. Another really good performance from Ruger Riojas in that start. He goes 6, strikes out 12, gives up 1 earned run. The home runs were flying tonight. I think Texas had 5 of them. They got them from Mendoza, Robbins, Becerra, Pack, and Borba. Timo Becerra has been a kind of an undercovered story. He's transferred from Stanford. I believe he was SEC Player of the Week last week. He goes 3 for 4, knocks in 3. Aiden Robbins, who had a long home run, goes 3 for 3, knocks in 3. Ethan Mendoza's been red hot. Anthony Pack, again, one of your contenders for freshman of the year in the league. Texas fans 17 and knocked off USC Upstate 14-2 in 8 innings.
17 strikeouts is eye-popping, isn't it?
And in 8 innings. So
yeah. And to me, like Aiden Robbins, 3 hits today. He continues to play at an all SEC level. So, boy, that jump from Seton Hall to the SEC, especially for A&M, it's been a good jump, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the summer performance in the Cape was your clue. When he went there and just lit it up, I was like, okay, I think this may translate, but you just don't know. But, man, it has right now. And by the way, Aggie Patriots says Wesley Jordan's out. I knew there was somebody. I couldn't remember who it is, the shortstop from his shortstop from Baylor.
But
So
I guess like if you're A&M, you'd rather deal with all this now than like in the middle of SEC play, right?
yeah.
Injuries, yeah.
Jim says Oakland's the only baseball team left in Oakland.
I guess he's
That
right.
one's in Michigan, though. Oakland's in Michigan.
Is the
But
town
he might not be wrong about that.
is the town Oakland,
I don't know.
or is it
I would have looked this up if I'd known we'd get this deep
They're,
in the weeds.
their hats, like if you put a green and yellow on them, like you would think it's Oregon. Like they got the OU and everything.
Yeah, I would just go
Different
old
OU
school
than-
A's with that. So anyway, let's see who we're going to do next. Let's just go alphabetical order in terms of the winners that we haven't hit. Let's go Arkansas. I just feel like it's the same story for them every Friday night. Gabe Gackle again was great. The bats are starting to pick it up for them a little bit, which you figured they would. But Gackle goes 6 shutout tonight, 99 pitches, 68 strikes. They got a little balance in the lineup tonight, and they beat Stetson 7-1.
Man, this was the first game of the day today, and I wanted to watch it, and it was not on the plus for some reason. Like
I'm so annoyed. I mean, like it feels like if they change these game times, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to see them on the ESPN app.
Well, it made me wonder. I don't know if softball isn't home, but I was blown away that this game wasn't okay. They're saying it wasn't televised due to the women's SEC tournament. Interesting,
Yeah,
but you would
I don't
think
care.
You think it'd be on plus though. But
You would think.
yeah, but I was kind of following along since it was it was pretty early first pitch, but yeah, they just kind of handled their business. I think if you're a Razorback fan, you just got to be excited. The offense came to play today, and as you said, pretty balanced. First 4 in the lineup, combined for 8 hits, 5 total doubles tonight. So, like, if you're Arkansas, you're going to take a win, and that's a good Stetson team, by the way. Like, they're picked towards the top in the A-Sun.
Yeah, I mean, Stetson's is like a perennial, 3 seed, 4 seed in somebody's regional somewhere. So Alabama's now done. I said we are going to go in Alabama in alphabetical order, but we'll leave Alabama to last so we can do a final check of the box score. But Alabama has now beaten North Florida. So anyway, all the games in the books as we speak. Let's go to Georgia, where Georgia just continues to do kind of the same thing every week. And I would like to see Georgia play somebody. That'll be coming soon enough. But the Bulldogs, I think, did Daniel Jackson hit a couple more home runs tonight?
He didn't hit a home run, but like he got more base hits. But like he's leading the league in like 3 different offensive categories.
Yeah, he's been a stud for them, and he's a catcher too. I think he plays some other places. We kind of haven't spent a lot of bandwidth on Georgia just because the schedule has been a little bit underwhelming. But yeah, I mean that's a team that just, again, better than I thought they'd be, and because a lot of it's the pitching just continues to come through for the Bulldogs.
Well, and then the lineup too. Like we can't forget about that lineup and just.
Well, I figured they'd hit, but
yeah.
The pitching was where I had my concerns.
Yeah, well, which is fair because they got all the new arms coming in, and then like really one of your prize portal gets Kenny Ishikawa has been out. So, like he's barely been out there, so they just been able to figure out ways to win. But to me, like the home run numbers are insane. Like already well over 50, and they lead the country.
Yeah, Trey Phelps got another one. He's been red hot. Joey Volko, again, really good. 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 Ks. The bullpen guys, Nottingham and Kosovic, wrap it up for them. So, yeah, Georgia, to me, didn't know where the hitting would come from. I mean, I knew it would come from somewhere, but they've got about 1 million guys. But the pitching, the starting pitching in particular, those guys continue to be durable and go late into games. Let's hit go ahead.
Wes asks, has Georgia played a D1 team yet? I see why you feel that way. And remember, they do not leave the state of Georgia until week 2 of SEC play. So just Bank on them stacking wins.
Have they played a road game yet?
At Kennesaw State. That's it.
Okay.
Which is
not too far away. Yeah. Let's go to, who do you want to hit? Let's do Kentucky, because I think the big news for the Cats was Tyler Bell was back tonight.
Yeah. And didn't he hit a home run? Or he got a base?
Did not see that.
I know he got a hit, but also it sounds like he's not going to play defensively. Like he's just going to get some at bats. At least that was a story coming into today. Let me see if he did play defense. But to me, like this was an interesting series because the Citadel, they can't hit at all, but they can really, really pitch. The Citadel scored in the first inning, and then Kentucky was just able to respond. So, yeah, Bell was the DH tonight. It sounds like he's just going to be the DH for the majority of this weekend. And he did hit a home run. So,
yeah,
Kentucky, 2 home runs tonight, big for them. They don't hit a lot. They're dead last in the league in home runs. Now they're towards the top in stolen bases. They had a couple more stolen bases tonight. But, yeah, in this one, like starting pitching, Jelkin has been really, really good. Like not his sharpest tonight, and, they still just find a way to win.
Yeah, he only struck out one guy. No, their bullpen, Madison and Jack Bennett, Connor Madison and Jack Bennett, that's been one of the better 1-2 punches out of anybody's bullpen this year. Those guys feel like they give multiple inning starts or multiple inning relief appearances every weekend. You said the home runs. They got one tonight from Bell, as you said, and also Ethan Hindle. They hit several in the midweek. So I think the bats are starting to get a little louder for the Cats.
Well, how much of that is weather related, do you think?
Yeah, probably some of it for sure. I mean, that's a part that like you look at a game there, like you just look at it, you go, and you're like, this is an easy home run park, but just the cold and the damp just kill it a lot of times. So that's probably, I mean, and plus they played on the road, Evansville and some other places too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still chilly in Lexington now. I was there 2.5 weeks ago. Still plenty of snow on the ground.
Before we move on to the rest of the games, a reminder, help out those who help the channel. That includes ROKFORM, which makes the world's strongest magnetic phone case. Graham, today I'm taking a walk in my neighborhood, got the music on, and all of a sudden the AirPods are getting staticky. Like, what's going on here? I dropped my phone. I look, and 75 feet behind me, it's in the road. I go back, and I pick it up, and I don't even really have to look because I know it's in a ROKFORM case, and it was protected. And once again, same thing. They make a terrific phone case. They got a vent clip I use in the car. And if they're not your go-to to protect your phone, they need to be.
Man, you were in the zone if you lost your phone and didn't realize it.
Well, I realized it when the music didn't sound so good anymore. So
you're all right though. Like you literally do not have to worry about anything happening to your phone if you have a ROKFORM case because that you can trust it. It's dependable. I'm not kidding. Like people thought I was making a joke the other day. You can drop a bowling ball or a brick on this thing and nothing's going to happen to your phone. How do I know that? There's literally a guy on YouTube, and that's what he does, Chris. And like nothing happens to the ROKFORM cases. It's amazing. I recommend you to watch it if you have the time or even interested. But ROKFORM, I got the case and the mount for my car as well. Absolutely love it. Promo code SEC25 for 25% off.
Yeah. Hey, did you notice I dressed up for the show tonight?
You sure did. Dressed to the nines, baby.
Guess whose shirt I'm wearing?
Let me take a wild guess. And
just a wild guess.
Yeah.
I love these things, man. They're great.
They are.
They can even make me look good.
They can make anybody look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you need a shirt, button down, quarter zip, pants, ties, you name it. Business casual or dressed to the nines, like even if you're going to a wedding and need a tuxedo, and Collar is your place to go. Wrinkle-free, stain-free. They are phenomenal, affordably priced too, with great customer service.
Yeah, promo code SE16 at andcollar.com gets you 16% off your entire order. You would love them paying full price, but you're going to love them even more when you get that discount. And they just are, these are the best shirts I've ever owned. And ROKFORM, I think we gave that, but if we didn't, SEC25 at ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, get you 25% off your entire order. Get a new wallet while you're at it. I love my new Icon wallet. I know you love yours too. They look great. They are just so much more efficient in terms of holding things. I mean, the wallet I've got now, the Icon one, is probably half the size of my old one, and it holds my stuff so much better than the old one did.
Yeah, they got different styles, different colors. They have so many different teams, license rights from across the country. They're working to get the majority of the teams in the SEC. I know we had Tennessee and Texas fans asking about that. They're working on it. Hopefully they'll get it soon. So yeah, everybody has a wallet, right? So if you're in the market for a new one, check out Icon Wallets. Father son company, great story. Like the company's less than 5 years old and they're already crushing it.
All right, let's go on to Mississippi State, which now has 2 wins this weekend. It beat my alma mater, Lipscomb, tonight, and also beat Lipscomb last night as that series started on Thursday. Ryan McPherson last night, good again. He throws 81 pitches, 61 for strikes, 6 innings, 8 Ks. Ace Reese had 3 hits. Drew Wires, his shortstop, had a couple home runs. And tonight, I guess the star there, Noah Sullivan, he goes 4 for 5, knocks in 4. Jacob Parker, the freshman right fielder, homered. And Thomas Valencius wasn't great. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. But he was good enough because the bullpen was pretty good. And Tyler Pitzer gave them 2 scoreless with 4 Ks.
Boy, State is really blessed with O'Connor's got so many studs, right? I mean, they literally have 16 of them. So the hardest part of his day is figuring out who he wants to start. To me, like, other than Ace Reese, like, you could, mix it up a good bit just because State has that much talent. I feel like this is the first time that we've said Noah Sullivan's name. Like, he's good, but tonight is really the first night where he exploded with the 4 hits, including the homer. The 4 RBIs. So State does this, and Reese goes 0 for 4 tonight. So 11 hits total. Mississippi State, I just fully anticipate them just to have a big weekend. We'll have to wait and see when Game 3 is, just with all the bad weather.
I think they've got it scheduled for 7 tomorrow night, is the last I checked, which was maybe an hour ago. So we'll see if they actually play it then, but that's what they've got on the docket. So we actually didn't get to maybe the best game of the day. Probably should have done that by now, but that's Tennessee beating Wright State. The Vols were down 3-1 and ended up winning it 4-3. Just good pitching all around. Tegan Kuntz wasn't great. He went 5 and gave up 3. But struck out 7. But Brandon Arvinson, kind of the story, he had maybe his best outing of the season, 3 scoreless, 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, and a walk. And then Brady Frederick, the transfer from East Tennessee State, who struggled at times, got his 3rd win. He went a scoreless inning at the end to get a win. They got a homer from Blake Grimmer. But the big one, Manny Marin, had a 9th inning single that scored Garrett Wright, I think, from second. For a walk-off win. Tennessee beats a pretty tough Wright State team 4-3.
I think if you're Tennessee, you got to be ecstatic.
Sure.
You get out-hit and you commit 2 errors and you find a way to win. So, like, Tennessee played their C game, and they just come out on top to beat, as you said, a very good Wright State team. So Wright State, they were in control the majority of the way on this one. I mean, they scored in the first, scratched more runs across in the third and the fourth. So Wright State, they were in good shape the rest of the way. But this could be one of these wins for Tennessee. They just kind of get their mojo, and they'll start to play with a ton of confidence moving forward. But that was a nice win for them tonight for sure.
Yeah, the last winner of the night is Alabama. Again, that one finished as we went to air here. Alabama beats North Florida 7-2. Another good outing for Friday starter Tyler Fay, who's now 3-1. He's pitched much better lately. Tonight, he goes 7 innings, strikes out 11, gives up 2, both those earned, a walk and 4 hits. So he's very efficient. 64 of his 95 went for strikes. And then Evan Steckmesser, who's one of their better relievers, he went 2, struck out 2, walked 1 to wrap that up. The big news tonight, Justin Osterhaus, the Purdue Fort Wayne transfer, goes 4 for 5, hits Alabama's only home run of the night, knocks in 2. Brady Neal, that's one of the bigger stories in the league this year, honestly, because he was a big-time catching prospect when he went to LSU a couple of years ago and just kind of got buried on the bench as he didn't hit a year or 2 years ago. He hit under 200 at Alabama last year, but Rob Vaughn, when we spoke with him, really kind of talked him up. And, hey, he's held up his end of the bargain. He's 3 for 4. He's now hitting .429. And I'm guessing that draft stock is really going to go up because, again, he was a coveted guy out of high school. Jason Torres got 3 hits for them tonight. Steele knocked in 3 runs. Alabama just kind of quietly in the weeds playing really good ball all around these days.
Yeah, they really are. Now they received a tough blow today, though. Have we touched on?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Caden Humphrey done for the year with Tommy John. He was one of their better, more promising freshman pitchers.
Yeah, so he went in the midweek, and then I mean, that's kind of where it happened. So hate that loss, not only for him, but for Alabama. This is a team, I don't know, like buy stock in Rob Vaughn. Like I'm very impressed with him, especially every time we talk to him. It seems like Alabama's getting more media coverage, which is good. And so like you just see more clips of him talking to the media and his team and everything. So I think that's really good to see for Alabama. But yeah, Brady Neal, feel good story. Sometimes it takes your senior year, Chris, so like you just play with that sense of urgency from day one until whenever it's over. And it seems like that's what he's doing this year.
Yeah, good for him. Those are always the kind of stories that you like to see. Okay, we have one loss in the league tonight. We saved that for last. The Gators, somebody finally cooled Florida off. They had been as hot as just about anybody in the country. They lose to a High Point team that most years is pretty good. And tonight, Florida's pitching was pretty good. The problem for the Gators, I think that just all the base runners kind of got clustered. They only gave up, 7 hits, but gave up 7 runs. They did walk 7. I guess that's where the issue was. But Liam Peterson was pretty good again tonight. Strikes out 11 and 5, gives up 2 earned runs. But the Jackson Hoyt into the bullpen. And Barberry's been just tremendous for them. But not so tonight. It cost the Gators.
Yeah, really, once Peterson went out, that's kind of when High Point did their damage. They scored all of their runs from the 6th inning on. If you're Florida, like you got to be a little concerned, right, that you utilize 6 pitchers tonight in this game and it doesn't go your way. So we'll see what they look like. But to me, the big one is High Point just capitalized on their situations. They went 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Florida went 0 for 10 as a team tonight with runners in scoring position. Your top duo of Surowitz and Lawson, they hit back-to-back in the lineup. They went a combined 1 for 7 tonight.
Yeah, Brendan Lawson did give them another home run. That's 6 now. He's had just a tremendous year. So
yes, you can see why he is like already pretty high up first round when his time comes to get drafted.
Yeah. We'll pick players of the day in just a minute. I want to go ahead and give you the schedule as I see it for tomorrow per D1. We've got Oakland and A&M. Again, these are all tentative. I'm not sure how many of these are actually going to be played. They are at noon tomorrow. Let me pull up the rest of the schedule.
I got it.
Yeah, you go ahead if you've got it. Mine is not pulling up.
All right. Again, this is like coming into today. So if things have changed or if we have a doubleheader, please let us know. But all right, we got South Carolina, Princeton, 1 o'clock Eastern, Georgia, Queens, 1 o'clock Eastern, Alabama, North Florida, 2 Eastern, Kentucky, Citadel, Mississippi State, Lipscomb. All of those are 2 Eastern. Vandy, North Dakota State, along with Texas, USC Upstate, Oklahoma, Santa Clara, Arkansas, Stetson. All of those are 3 o'clock first pitch. Georgia, game 2 of that doubleheader, and will be around 4 o'clock Eastern. Florida, High Point, 4 o'clock. South Carolina, Princeton, 4:30, roughly. That's game 2 of the doubleheader. Tennessee, Wright State, 6 o'clock Eastern. 7 p.m. first pitch. We got LSU, Sacramento State, Mizzou, and Illinois, Chicago. And we got to be determined on A&M, Oakland, and Auburn, Winthrop.
I'm looking at the pitching matchups for tomorrow. It is remarkable how many guys are in the rotation spot they started the year in. 1 down to 3. You see obviously more turnover to 3, but tomorrow, other than Hunter Dietz going for Arkansas, I think, well, no, I guess he has been a starter since the first weekend, maybe. So maybe that hasn't changed. I think the one that sticks out is Wyatt Nadeau, starting for Vanderbilt tomorrow. He's a freshman who's been lights out for them so far, but Austin Nye is out after some biceps discomfort last weekend, which, like, if he's out for any length of time, that's a big blow for Vanderbilt, but keep an eye on him tomorrow.
Yeah, and we also got to watch Florida, right, King? I mean, I haven't seen any announcement there one way or the other, but he was pulled in the 3rd inning against Miami. So I kind of think, maybe we missed it, but if he wasn't going, I kind of think everybody would know by now, right?
No, D1's got him going tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've thrown, what is it, Cooper Walls, who's been there 3 and pitched a little bit in the midweek, back in as the 3. So
that's good news for Florida fans for sure.
Yeah, I like to see that. Let's see. Players of the day. I think hitting is easy. Jake Brown hit 3 home runs tonight. He's got to be the guy, right?
Yeah, without question.
Pitching,
hat trick in a game, you got to be the player of the day.
I mean, pitching, it's you got a lot of guys that had very similar lines. I think it could be Jake Marciano for Auburn, went 6, struck out 6, didn't allow a run. Gackle at Arkansas, very similar line. In fact, it's the exact same line in terms of innings, strikeouts, and runs. Liam Peterson was good, but not as good as those guys.
Riojas, most strikeouts tonight of anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that might be your guy. I mean, because USC Upstate can usually hit a little bit.
I'm sorry, my wife popped in on the chat. I million% wasn't expecting it. I thought she was.
That's funny. Yeah, let's give it to Ruger Riojas. And I said, you know what? I meant to do this. We said we'd hit some of the Thursday games. We did hit Mississippi State. We did not hit Oklahoma and Missouri. Let's start with Oklahoma because Cam Johnson was good again last night. 89 pitches, 58 strikes, 5 1/3, 7 Ks, just 2 walks, 2 hits. Oklahoma used his 5 pitchers, struck out 11, just walked 2, stole 3 more bases. Didn't really hit with ducks on the pond, but it was good enough for a 2-1 win over Santa Clara.
To me, like, Cam Johnson has got to be, one of the best stories, right?
Oh, absolutely. He and Brady, you talking about pitcher hitter stories right now of guys that just kind of got buried and forgotten about. It's Brady Neal of Alabama and Cam Johnson. Yeah.
I know Dylan was high on Cam Johnson, coming into the season just from conversations that he had. So, that has definitely, paved the way for the Sooners. And I just think, look, Santa Clara is a solid team and Oklahoma, not really their best, especially offensively. For them to go 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position and to win this game is big.
Yeah, I mean, when we had Skip Johnson on, he was big on Cam Johnson, but it's just like you got to see it when the lights come on.
Yeah.
And he's come on. He's held up his end of the bargain, and hopefully it continues. Let's see. We didn't get to Missouri last night. Missouri held on and beat UIC. What was it, 9-8?
Correct.
And just not real pretty from the pitching standpoint. And then UIC is leading 12-4 in the fifth in a game that presumably will resume tomorrow.
I think the big thing for Missouri, like they found a way to win game one. So last year they don't win these kinds of games. Illinois, Chicago, they had the bases loaded with one out in the ninth. But Missouri was just able to figure it out. So I kind of think that speaks to the difference a year can make for this Missouri team. I think they lose that game last year. This year they find a way to get it done.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up here in a minute. A 9-time champion says Auburn Winthrop is a doubleheader tomorrow. Good to know. Jim says Oakland will be at Vandy in April. Hey, Jim, come on down, man. Meet you in person. I'll be at a lot of that series for sure. Let's see. Trace says I've always got a lot of cash on me. Not quite, Trace, but appreciate the vibe you're giving off there.
He said, and collar's so good you don't have to wear a Braves hat.
That's right. And then, man, 9-time champion. Why'd you have to bring up the Braves, man? We had another long week.
Yeah.
Did you see that? What happened with Jurickson Profar?
Not the Braves. Jurickson had a long week.
Well, no, I mean, we've had a long spring already. We've lost Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrop for a while. And our shortstop, broke his elbow or whatever, slipping on ice in Japan. So it's been like we haven't played a game. I'm just, every time I see Braves news flash, I'm like, great. What happened to us now?
Yeah, what now?
Thank you for that reminder, 9-time.
When I started, like my first job ever in minor league baseball, Jurickson Profar was on the team and was like the number one of the top prospects in baseball. So to see him be going from a teenager to like what he's been able to do, but man, like for this to happen to him again, after the excuse that he had the first time, it's like, I don't think you can make an excuse the second time around when you get popped for a whole year.
Yeah, just dumb. He lost $15 million.
That would hurt.
Yeah,
that is a gut punch right there.
Yeah, hurt your team too. Okay, thank you guys all for being here. A reminder: leave us a thumbs up. Leave us a nice rating. You know what? We're 3 ratings shy of 100 on Apple Podcasts. I know some of you listen to us there. If you've not left us a rating, leave us a 5-star. Get us to triple digits there. And other places too. That helps us. Too. What's that?
Subscribe on YouTube too.
Cost you nothing. 2,000. Yeah. Join our membership tiers. Let's leave us some super chats next time. None of that tonight, but we'll get it again. So anyway, enjoyed it. We are a week out from the real baseball when the SEC opens next week, and we will be back on Sunday night, probably around 8 Central, to wrap up the weekend. We will also have basketball coverage. Blake and Max doing a great job with that. They'll bring that to you throughout the day tomorrow as games wrap up. And we get football as that happens. And somebody asked about Jay Greason. Jay's doing a terrific job right now with football. We're kind of all dividing and conquering. You haven't seen me on basketball and football, which I've done hundreds of videos, each of those throughout my time here. But right now we're kind of all taking a sport and getting after it. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, we may have some Jay on by the end of baseball season. We'll see about that. But anyway,
Jay's
Jay's a lot of fun. We miss him over here. Anyway, for Graham Doty, I'm Chris Lee. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a great and safe rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again soon at Southeastern 16.